we talked a little bit about the NCAA rule proposals at the beginning of the week that we would like them to take a look at. Now we've got some responses. Bud, whether it's the way that they're going to combat fighting injuries, the potential of limiting overtime period timeouts. We've got the Dan Lanning rule with 12 man on the field. We got the Citrus Bowl, baby. We got the T getting called out in some of the football oversight. The Football Oversight Committee will be the next one to approve some of these rule proposals. Bud, what stood out to you in terms of stuff that you either were glad that they took a look at or thought that they did a good job of addressing?
So I think Cover 3 listeners will recall all the way back to January when we said a lot of coaches don't actually think what they propose in terms of the player missing the rest of the drive actually could get passed for two reasons. One, correct, because they were worried about, like, what if the quarterback gets headhunted and he has to miss the rest of the drive? And two, there's kind of the legality aspect here with liability. With what if you have a rule that is so punitive that the player refuses to leave the field, but he has like a heart thing going on or a head thing and he drops dead, and then you got, like, first of all, a tragedy. Second of all, nice lawsuit on your hands. Third of all, kind of a PR nightmare. So that's the actual logical solution if you really wanted to put a stop to this. I'm interested to see how much we can curb the behavior with what they did propose, the rules committee, which is you have to burn a timeout if a player goes down and needs help off after the ball has been spotted for play, which I think is probably it's a step in the right direction.
It's sensible.
The size of the step, I'm not sure.
Just go down quicker.
Yeah, but it is, like, I do think this will help stem those situations that we've talked about a lot. And it was something that we didn't bring up, and I hadn't thought about this, about the timing of when you have to call the timeout, right? Like, I think that's an interesting aspect to it, because so many times there's a big chunk play or you're getting gashed and the coaches are like on the headset, we got to do something. They'll send the signal in, but the ball is spotted. So in a normal situation, now there will be outliers because we've seen players get up and try to walk it off and then they have to blow it dead. But for the most part, when you're down and like you're hurt, you don't pop right back up. So you can go down and you have to waste the timeout, just a normal injury like we've known it since the beginning of football. So I do think that slight tweak will help curb getting the signal in and having the very obvious player gets, sniper in the stands hits him and then he goes down and it's like, oh, we all know what's going on. I think it'll help with that.
Tom?
Yeah. I don't care that much about this.
I think, hey, listen, there are officials who listen to the Cover 3 podcast that are very into procedure. And the idea that you're going to be able to, like, get it in with, like, when the ball is spotted, if the medical personnel comes on the field, like, there is something about the way that everything goes where, I mean, football is a chaotic sport. We got to have some order to this. And I think that this was at least something that feels like it could stem the disruptions that come from sort of the faking injury allegations.
Yeah.
So, like,
go ahead, Tom. The rule is after the ball's been spotted. So you just go down before the ball's spotted. That's it. You just got to be quicker about it. That's not going to change. They're still going to fake injuries. It's not going to there might be one or two times every week where we see a guy who's too late doing it. But the thing is, that guy might actually be hurt. Who knows? Maybe he tried to tough it out for one more snap and realized I can't do it. So I don't think it solves anything. I don't know that it's a huge problem, more than it's just kind of annoying. And it seems, like, man-wise, ego-wise, faking injuries. You're not tough enough. You got to, blah, blah, blah.
You're not tough enough.
Think there are much bigger issues that they needed to address that probably didn't get addressed because they were too busy trying to figure out how to address this.
I have thought of a really helpful reminder that I would teach my players. Okay. It's a rhyme time. First down, go down, right? If it's a first down, you go down.
Yeah.
Don't wait.
I mean, like, you can communicate on the sidelines. Like, anytime they get the first down, we're going to take turns. Everybody go down. You got cramps. It's like,
I was thinking, what if somebody hired Connor Stallions to run like a national command center of all just sideline footage, and then he could sync it up with when the player goes down. He could spot the hand signals. Like, what a brilliant pairing of his skill set and solving an actual problem. Like, he could redeem himself within the sport.
Isn't that like the story of the movie with Leonardo DiCaprio when he was the scam artist and then the government actually hired him to help detect it? So yeah, that's a great idea, Bud. I like that one.
Great movie. Tom Hanks, right?
It's a very good movie.
He was the detective, right? He was the guy that chased after him.
Catch me if you can.
Catch me if you can.
Catch me if you can. Yeah. Good flick. Oscars talk on the Cover 3 podcast.
How many Oscars movies did you guys see this year?
0.
Saw Nora,
Yeah,
the one
saw
that
that.
did really well. It was like
Was
a
it good?
softcore porn.
Would you recommend it? Because I was thinking about watching it.
There are a lot of boobs in it, so that's fun.
Perfect. Definitely.
It's like you watch the first hour and then fall asleep.
No, I watched the whole thing. I thought it was good. I didn't think it was great.
Fair. Tom, we good? We're good right here. We like that we've made history. We're getting all the like celebrity rule changes. The Dan Lanning rule, the Brett Bielema rule. Are you happy to see the Citrus Bowl referenced in the official language coming from the NCAA committee?
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's all reactionary stuff. Somebody finds a loophole, they close the loophole. That happens every single year. The bigger stuff to me was the replay where they're getting rid of like confirmed, where it's just going to be upheld or overturned now, which I think kind of accomplishes what I was hoping that they would do, in that now that you're getting rid of the language of confirmed, it could allow them to do what we saw them do like at the end of the Virginia Tech Miami game, whereas it's like, all right, it wasn't what the call was. There's no actual conclusive evidence, but we're just trying to get the play right without having to deal with that kind of language. So to me, that is the biggest change that they have made. And I think will actually have real impacts on the football game, not some guy getting a cramp and going down for 20 seconds.
So are you pairing this with a we don't know signal on the field?
No, I wish they would do that. Like,
Yeah,
I think that would ultimately be the best case, but I think we're getting kind of a compromise, which maybe will allow them to work toward that if this goes well. I don't know. We'll see.
But you know what will allow them to do to give the best call they can make?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like they don't have to
want.
hold to this standard. Well, we need more evidence to show that, even though no one knows what really happened, they can make the best guess possible that looks the closest to it.
And
but I do wish they had gone with that direction, though, Tom, about the we don't know. Just, throw some new green flag, whatever it is, that just says we don't know what it was.
Inconclusive. Like if we don't know hurts your ego too much, like let's just say let's have if it's an inconclusive call, and that's okay. We can use other methods to conclude what needs to happen with the call. Again, I know this can be a little bit tedious as we continue to cycle back through some of these stories. These proposals now go for an official rubber stamping next month.